Well, hello there, another Japan trip, another umbrella usage. The very day that I'm making my way to a little island here off the coast of Hiroshima, a very small island called Miyajima. It's beautiful though. I was here last year, really lovely place. So unfortunately the weather is not playing ball, but anyway, we can deal with that. What harm is a little bit of rain? So I'll make my way to the tram station now. A small tram journey to get to the ferry port, then the ferry port over to Miyajima. So let's make our way there. I'll catch you when I'm at the ferry. Oyster farms over here, all along. And today I wanted to climb up there, but it doesn't look like there's much of a view. Still gonna go up anyway. There's something very special up there. This place is famous for its oysters, but I don't like oysters, so I won't be eating them. But you can see how fresh they obviously are. They're farming them right here. Well, I've arrived at Miyajima and unfortunately it's full of tourists, me included, but I thought the rain today would kind of keep them away, but no, it certainly didn't. Now I'm going to go over to Lawson here. You can see Lawson is slightly different, it's brown, and they do that in Japan when it doesn't fit in with kind of the architecture of the place. When it doesn't fit in with the architecture of the place, they kind of make it like a kind of a bland colour instead of the vivid blue that Lawson usually is, to just to make it blend in with the buildings that are around it, which is nice. I've seen it done a few times. Now I just came from across the water over there. It's only about 2 kilometres, so it only took about 10 minutes on the ferry. But I'm gonna go in and get an onigiri. So many tourists here. Why did I think that rain would put them off? I should have known. Tourists don't give a damn about rain. But there's a load of deer around here, which I know from the last time you're not supposed to feed them, of course, but sometimes people do.
Baby deer. Oh, mama.
No. The only problem is, it does say the male deer can get aggressive during mating season, which is autumn, and it's now autumn, so I have to keep guard. So I just picked myself up a little breakfast, just a small little snack before I go for a walk around. Now it's a lovely little place, Miyajima. Obviously it's full of tourists, but that's because it's so nice. Now you get this walkway up and we'll see this gorgeous torii gate that I'll show you, that I captured a little video of when we were coming in on the ferry. But it's throughout the day, so when the tide is out you can walk up to it. It's 16 meters high, you can walk right up to it underneath it, and then later on in the day the tide comes in, you can't. But it's a great view. It's one of the top views in Japan, I reckon, and I think it's been voted that. But I'm just taking shelter while I eat my little onigiri, so cheers. Breakfast of champions. So as you follow this street up, there's kind of like a food market, if I remember. There's lots of stalls and shops, and one of the famous foods, as I showed you as I was coming into the island, the oyster farms. Oysters are huge here. Now I really can't stand oysters, I wouldn't eat them, but that is what Miyajima is known for, it's oysters. Lovely view over to Hiroshima. All the little stands selling all small things as well, it's not just oysters. Although this is oyster curry bread, so maybe it is just oysters. But as I said, this place, no matter when you come, like I was here it would have been last October. So just basically exactly a year ago. Yeah, a year ago, just say. And the same thing, although it was absolutely roasting, but tourists galore. which, you know, as I said, it is pretty understandable. This place is just a stone's throw away from Hiroshima City, but you still can escape the hustle and bustle of the city. Come along, have a day out, get yourself some oysters, get yourself some ice cream, go view a couple of the temples here, the shrines, and one of them at the start of the hike that I want to do. Now I want to hike up to the top of that hill or mountain. I don't know if there's going to be any view, but at the top of it there's an observatory. Will we walk down the street first before we go along? Yeah. So at the top of it there's an observatory, but of course that is the attraction, but there's something just below that, something very special that you can drink, and that's where I'm planning to go. Although I will go to the observatory while I'm there if I've done the climb, which might have less people on it with the weather, I hope. But regardless, I really want to get this special drink. All the school kids on their trips here. That looks nice. School kids on their trips, yeah. Look how busy it is, like all the umbrellas. It's going to be like a bloody obstacle course trying to get down this street. Oh my god. Ugh. Well, this street, as I said, this is the shopping street, so they've got like, well, it says no photos on that one, so I'm not going to turn the camera, but you've got all like matcha, you know, this kind of thing. All the little kids still out on their school trips still. Souvenir shops along the way. Magnets with the temples, with deer, with oysters on the magnets. Imagine that on your fridge, just a big oyster. Do you know what? I'm actually handling this kind of obstacle course a bit better than I thought. And that's not because of my skill, that's just because most people are going the same direction. Most people. You get lovely eel rice. Eel rice is gorgeous, and I wouldn't be a lover of eel. It's not something I'd regularly eat, but eel rice in Japan is absolutely gorgeous. It's the sauce they put on top of it. I'm not sure exactly what the sauce is, but it's gorgeous. You know, I see everyone going into these restaurants, and fair play to them. I couldn't eat something so heavy this early in the day. But you know, these people could have been out since 7 a.m. So, I mean, you have to take that into account. Deep fried oysters. A deer. I guess the deer can smell the food on this street, that's why he's rambling down. Oysters, oysters, oysters. Chicken. You know, there's an ice cream shop here, and I'm surprised they're not actually selling oyster ice cream. Ice cream. Sorry, that was a bad one. Fried oyster, fried octopus, fried chicken. And when I came here last time, I actually came down this street when I was finished. So I went the kind of lesser travelled road down the side, just because I wanted to get the hike out of the way and then come back here. But the atmosphere is absolutely great. All the schools must be out on a trip here. Beer. Where's the octopus beer? Oyster beer. We're nearly at the end of the street though. Just thought I'd take you for a little trip down, just so you can see how many stores there are selling oysters, selling all kinds of fried foods and ice creams, and beer and coffee. Coffee ice cream. Oh, you know what? Maybe when I come back down, that might be something nice to get. If I make it up, or if I make it down. Souvenir shops. Of course, you come anywhere like this, it's full of souvenir shops, right? No matter where you go, once it's a tourist attraction, that's it. You're gonna get these shops selling all sorts of magnets, dolls, hats, scarves, everything. Fry bar. Oh my god. Ah, and of course, Starbucks. A compulsory store anywhere in the world, right? And it's not even nice. Well, I mean, the coffee is same as 7-Eleven, the beans, but come on. You know, you go somewhere like that that's selling coffee. I don't need all those fancy coffees that they sell. I just want coffee flavoured coffee. Sometimes they kind of look at you like, huh? You know, if I say just give me an Americano, and they're like, don't you want the strawberry crumble caramel frappalapadappuccino? Nah. Now we're making our way up to the Tory Gate, not the Shrine, although that will be past it. Okay, you can see. I think the tide actually might be coming in, because when I arrived there was a lot more sand out on the beach. Here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Everyone's out underneath the gate over there, but I'm not going down just yet. Take a look at this. Hold on, I need to step over the puddles. Look at that. You can understand why it's one of the more kind of well-known spots for photos here in Japan. Everyone walking across all along the sand just to come along, get a photo underneath it. 16 meters high, built in the 1100s, so almost 1,000 years old. Built from wood, collected from the island. Yeah, what a view. That's all I can say. Well, do you know what? I've decided to take a little walk out to it and see. It's a bit wet, obviously, the sand, but it's not too bad. Behold. Oh man. I mean, the Torii Gate just north of Fukuoka, where I went that time, that was impressive, like, but this just the size of this Torii Gate, like, oh my god. Oh, like, just look, when you see the people standing right beside it, yeah, that just gives you an idea of just how big this thing is. Sorry if my umbrella is getting in the way, but it's very much needed today. Look at that. Absolutely bonkers. 1,000 years old almost. Oh, isn't that crazy? Everyone out here, the tide will start coming in soon, I have a feeling. You can see, oh my god, it's just so impressive when you're standing right underneath it. Like, come on, look at the people. Just look at them standing beside it. They're not even up to where the water comes in, where all the little barnacles and stuff are stuck to it. Anyway, we'll move on towards a nice old temple area, won't we? You've probably seen enough of this Torii Gate now, so we'll move on. Now, this temple just facing over to the Torii Gate is lovely, but I was in it last time and it costs 800 yen to go into it. And to be honest, it's just this walkway around to it and then you walk back out the other exit. And I don't really want to pay 800 yen just to go back in there. I've seen it. It is lovely. If you're here for the first time, go for it. But no, I'm not going into it today. I'm making my way over this direction, but how am I going to get over without getting wet? I'll have to go into the stones over here. Just want to look at this little shrine area here when I just came off of the sandy beach. Actually, I think I've got a little tip for you, right? So if you do want to come to Miyajima and you want to beat the crowds, which is very difficult to do, however, there are hotels here that you can stay in overnight. Obviously, that's what you do in a hotel. Well, some hotels in Japan are called love hotels and you don't stay overnight, you just stay for a couple of hours, if you get what I mean. But here on Miyajima they have hotels and probably a couple of ryokans. And I think if you stayed in one of them and you come out 6 AM just as the sun is coming up, I'd say it's gorgeous around here. Be real quiet. No tourists, you can kind of get a good shot of the Torii Gate out in the sand without everybody crowding around it. I'd say that's lovely. All the Jesus statues down here. Hundreds of them. This is not the hike, by the way. This is the Daisho-in temple, which is gorgeous. I remember this from last time. It's really lovely. This is the Daisho-in temple area. It's lovely though. I remember being here this time last year. And funny, the weather was way better last time, but it was way less people. Isn't that strange? Wait till you see this. Isn't this place just absolutely gorgeous? The word I'd use honestly is breathtaking when you're walking around. That lovely room underneath, all the lanterns above, gold colours everywhere, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, makes you feel good when you come out of somewhere like that, honestly. So this temple area was actually constructed in the 800s. So it's like what, over 1200 years old. Now we're going to take a little walk down by all of the Jesus statues, just so we can have a glance at them. Now there's a lot, so I might just speed this part up or I'll cut bits of it, but yeah, there's a lot coming down here. Would you believe that in that area with all the Jesus statues, there's actually 500 of them? I just read it as I was coming out. They're all numbered on a map. Imagine 500. Oh, it's gorgeous. They're really lovely walking through it. Why wasn't it this quiet when I was walking up this street? Anyway, look, even with this weather, we're going to try and battle the hike. Let's see if I survive. If I don't, it'll be documented here. Oh no, it won't make it, never mind. Look at that view coming up, isn't that lovely? You're not very far away from the main park, but it feels like you're miles away from civilization. It's a lovely feeling. Now, if you do decide to come and hike Mount Misen, you'll be happy to know that most of it is actually a built up stairway. There are a couple of parts that are a little bit, you know, they've suffered a bit from wear and tear over the years. They've been worn out by so many people walking up this mountain. But it's not really a difficult trail. It's quite peaceful, especially with the rain. Now, I know the rain kind of, you know, it does dampen your spirits a little bit, but the noise of it on the umbrella just adds to the atmosphere when you're walking up a mountain, a Japanese mountain. Now, I know travelling around and going to places that you've never seen before is a great thing. It really is. It's kind of the ultimate goal of travelling, is just to see everywhere, right? However, sometimes it's nice to come back to a place that you've been, especially if it's a place that you've liked, because it's weird. I'm walking on this trail, right? And I remember this spot from the last time I hiked Mount Misen. And I remember talking to an Australian couple walking up this way. I had a great laugh all the way up to the top. But you know, it's just, yeah, it's nice to come back and kind of not relive those memories, but come back to a place that you feel comfortable in, and just a place that brings you a bit of happiness. And with that, it's the last you'll see of me until we get to the top. I'll stop talking and I'll keep climbing. I've almost made it to the top. Look at that puddle. I had to walk all the way around. Me and my little umbrella. But this gateway in is lovely. These guardians guarding the pathway up to the temple. It's quite impressive. Almost there, half a kilometre left. I don't know if that means half a kilometre upwards or, you know, but we'll see. So just come up these stairs and you're greeted by another shrine here. Now it's not open. But even way up here in the mountains, can you imagine monks coming up here? Sorry, I was trying not to get wet. Coming up here, building this all the way up here before there was any old machinery and stuff like that. It's crazy, isn't it? Same for any old place, but you know, you just think of it like, oh, it's crazy. This umbrella's not making things easier, but you know, it's needed. We have arrived. However, what I was thinking in my head was true in the end. Come up to the observatory and, well, there's not very much to observe. Oh man, really? I thought maybe when you get above a certain height, you know, the clouds kind of go above the clouds, but no. Nope, didn't happen. And the last time I was here, it was absolutely insane. You look out here and there's ocean, islands, everything. You look out the other direction, you can see Hiroshima. Oh, damn, can you believe it? All this hiking up, I'm knackered, absolutely knackered. When I said it's not that difficult, it turns out I was wrong and I was forgetting it. It's difficult. Can you believe it? Honestly, it feels like I'm in Silent Hill instead of on Mount Misen. Damn. Well, sometimes that kind of happens when you're travelling around, you know. Although it really is my fault. I should have known. When we were coming over on the boat, I looked up, I saw the clouds, and I still thought by the time I get up here you'd be able to see out further, or maybe, what an idiot. But, you know, I'm owning up to my idiocy. Usually you go up here to the top level, you'd look out, oh, it's just amazing the view. I'll put a picture here. Now, yeah, so that's what you see normally. It's, goddamn. But there is something else up here that I do want to see. I'll go to it now in a minute. I have to make my way a bit down, just a little bit. It's very special. It's a cool place. Yeah, just picture, you make your way all the way up here, nearly 600 meters up into the air, and you come up here and you look out and it's just gorgeous. Blue skies, the sea, islands, people out on their boats, great atmosphere, looks great. Everyone up here is chilling out, having basically a picnic. But me, isn't that just typical, huh? Ah well, look, I'll stop complaining about it. It is what it is. It is what it is. So the place I've just arrived at now, that you see behind me, this is called the Hall of the Eternal Flame, Reikado. And inside there's a flame that's been said to be burning for about 1,000 years. And it's been lit under a cauldron of water that's also supposedly been burning for 1,000 years. So let's go in and see if they have the cups out to drink it. So when I came here before, they had these little cups here. And you pull off the lid, slide it across, scoop out the water, and you drink it. It's supposed to have like healing powers because it's been burning for over 1,000 years and boiling for 1,000 years. I found the cups. Small donation. Here we go. Blessed war. Tastes holy. So this water is supposed to be boiling for 1,000 years. It's got a slightly yellowish colour. I guess it's the minerals in it, but mission accomplished. Well, it wasn't the most successful ascent today up to Mount Misen. However, I did get one of the things that I wanted to come here for. I did get my water to bless me and to give me healing powers and properties. Whether it works or not, who knows? You know, look, sometimes like the lack of a view from the top, sometimes it just happens, but at the same time it's all about the experience coming up here, battling this rain, you know, just saying hello to people on the way up, battling these big puddles that are all the way down now. Funny enough, I find going uphill is much easier. Obviously it makes you tired more, but downhill is, you know, you're watching where you're going all the time, you're kind of being careful because your knees can get damaged more. But yeah, got me water. And I remember, like, basically this time last year, coming up here, coming across this place without knowing about it, the Hall of the Eternal Flame, and then, you know, getting to experience that in that smoky room, pouring your own sacred water from the cauldron. Yeah, it was great to relive that experience, even though it only lasted a few minutes, but I was able to sit there for a few minutes and sip on my water and just kind of just enjoy the piece, because everybody that was coming in was just coming in to take a photo of the flame. They weren't actually coming in to drink. I don't think they actually knew about it because the cups were kind of off to the side in a little box this time, but you know, look, I'd say it was, yeah, 50% successful, wouldn't you agree? And 50% is good enough for me. Now where the hell do I go? I think it's this way. Anyway. So I've just made my way down to the bottom of the trail. My hat's very floppy now, look. Weird. And it is wet, so that explains it. But this lovely walk back to the main area where the Torii Gate is, yeah, it's lovely. So I think I'll walk along the seafront. I'm not going to go back onto that tourist-filled street that we saw earlier, because it's probably even worse now. Do you know that? All the umbrellas with the rain getting heavier. So I'll just take a little walk back there and slowly make my way back to the ferry terminal. Then I'll hop on the ferry and then hop on the train. Well, tram. Train might be making it seem a lot bigger than it is. It's just a streetcar. A little walk beside the riverside here. I hope I can get out of here. Well, as I said, like, you know, rain is part of it, not being able to see the view is part of it. But Miyajima is absolutely a gorgeous place. It's a very traditional looking place. It's got these long streets with the traditional wooden houses along the way. Beautiful waterway here. Lovely shrines and temples around. Of course, it has its fair share of tourist traps, but that's to be expected, isn't it? But it is quite a lovely place, even in the rain. That doesn't even really take much away from it, if you know what I mean. We're in luck. Just come out towards the Torii Gate in the sand, and the tide is just coming in. So nobody's down there, you'll be able to see. The tide is still gradually rising, but isn't that absolutely amazing? Honestly, you don't see many sights like that, but that's really spectacular, isn't it? And while I walk away from that Torii Gate, the deer are still being fed. Tell you, when you go around these places with the deer lingering around, I'm surprised these deer aren't morbidly obese. Honestly, all they do is eat, and even when they've eaten, they come back for more. It's just non-stop. Just like all the time, all they want is food. And food and sleep. Well, I guess, don't we all? Well, back in Hiroshima City. So that concludes our day out at Miyajima. If it wasn't for the weather, it'd be great, but you know, the weather still, it's a different experience, you know. Tomorrow we'll have a bit more of a chill day. No climbing mountains, I'm 90% sure of that. Anyway, I'm gonna head back out of the rain. I think I might need to buy a new pair of runners, you know that? These are, yeah, they're very dirty because they were white. And they're very dirty after climbing that mountain. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you liked Miyajima. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.